Hello.
Welcome back to le-indemnity, the podcast. I'm Emily Clazer.
I'm Jonathan Pyle.
Woo! This is a podcast where we talk about new movies and we review them, specifically new movie releases, because, I don't know. I kind of just like focusing on new stuff. Why do we want to look in the past? What's done is done, right? You don't want to live in the future. We want to live in the present.
Living in the present.
Mm-hmm.
That's
why it's
the movies
called
that
present,
coming out
because it's a
in
gift.
the future. Yeah, that's come from Kung Fu Panda.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They really have
Look
some
at you
good quotes
quoting
from that
movies.
movie. I didn't even know that. I thought that was just something people said because it's like a stupid joke.
Oh, maybe people said it before Kung Fu Panda, but I remember that from Kung Fu Panda.
That was probably really impactful on your life.
It obviously
Because it's such a good movie. I had a Kung Fu Panda birthday party.
That sounds
When
sick.
the movie came out, we went to go watch it in theaters. I think it was my 10th birthday when it came out, but I might be wrong.
I think you're wrong. I think Kung Fu Panda came out 2008.
Okay, well then it was my 8th birthday.
Yeah.
How would you know that? Why do you know those things?
Because I just know useless information about movies.
I bet you're wrong. I bet I'm right. It came out in 2010.
I'm going to look this up.
No, you're going to fact check me.
Pretty sure I'm right. It's 2008.
Okay, a couple of intros to the podcast. Be prepared for lots of spoilers. We're going to talk about the whole movie. Also, remember to follow us on LetterBoxd. We post the movies before we talk about them, so if you want to leave comments or reviews, you can. Pretty sure my sister left a comment. I think she was pretty apprehensive about the movie.
Baby.
How did you know that? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see what...
Oh, this is mine, not the
Oh, can you pull up our
Yeah.
letterbox and see if anybody commented on it? Yeah, because I think Carly said something about Elemental, you booty pants. Not reality.
Reality. Either, this is Carly Bernard, verbatim. Quote, either this is
Isn't
so
that what
good.
verbatim means when you say quote? That's the same thing. You already introed that.
Either this is going to be so good or so not. I haven't been that excited for this one.
To be honest, I wasn't that excited for it either. But I thought it was cute. I thought it'd be a cute movie to go to.
Yeah, me too.
Beans is already passed out. We took her to the doggy park. If you're watching the video, she is sleeping in my lap right now. Hopefully she stays like that the whole time.
I think she's going to.
She got so tired at the dog park. So that is our new obsession, going to the dog park.
Mm-hmm.
And she plays with other dogs, which is good for her. Socialize. So
Social
sweet.
butterfly.
And then she's so tired afterwards. Hopefully she goes to sleep. Okay. So let's get into the first segment of the podcast, which is what are we watching right now?
We're still watching
Not
Silo.
that much. And we're also still watching Mindhunter.
Yeah, started season
Pretty
2.
good. Other than that, I don't think we've seen much. We haven't been to the movies, and we've kind of been out of a watching TV phase for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because it's summer here, and when it's summertime, you just want to be outside because the winter times are just the wrath of hell. If hell was Antarctica. So
Yes.
now that it's nice outside, we just want to be outside all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if hell would be worse if it was winter and you're just slowly freezing, or would it be worse to be slowly melting?
I would rather be stuck in a desert than the cold.
I don't know if I agree with you, because in the cold, at least if you can build yourself a fort and a fire, you can melt the ice and have water, whereas in the desert there's just no water. You can't get water.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Boom, roasted. Was that from what's that from? Is that from New Girl? No. I was hoping it was a New Girl reference because we always have New Girl references.
It's from The Office.
Beans is sighing. Oh, it's from The Office. I'm sorry. People are probably so disappointed in me. That took you a minute to remember what it was from.
I thought it was from Parks and Rec at first. And I was like, wait, no. That's Parks and Rec is You Just Got Jammed.
You just got jammed. Okay. Do you want to intro the movie for today, even though we already said it's Elemental?
Oh my god.
Well, we already talked about it. We talked about the letterbox.
Yeah, the movie is called Elemental, if you didn't know that. Directed by Peter Sohn. He also directed The Good Dinosaur. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was average.
Yeah, I thought so too. He's acted in a lot of Pixar movies, has been working for them since Warner Bros. Pixar since 2000. He also
our
did
whole life.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's acted in a bunch of them. And he also, the what do you call it? The Pixar short, Partly Cloudy.
No.
Do you know that one?
No.
Well, he did that one too. It's about not the swans, but the cranes delivering the babies in the clouds.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Obviously. This movie stars relatively not huge stars, which I kind of like. Leia Lewis as Ember Lumen.
Okay, what is she from? I totally recognize her voice. Is she the girl from Duff? That's
No.
what I was thinking it was the whole time.
It is not from Duff. She
Oh.
has not been in anything you or I have seen.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was thinking. It's okay. You don't need to. You don't need to do the Google-age.
Goodness. It took so long to find the movie. Yeah, she's been in relatively unknown things.
Oh, not
she
that
just
many
got her start.
things.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's a big movie for her.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when they use actors who you don't know. But honestly, with animated films, unless you're like, gosh, what's his name? Seth Rogen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know who they are. He just has the most iconic like voice and laugh. Or like Morgan Freeman, you know?
Yeah.
I would know who that was.
James Earl Jones. All those people.
I just don't know who that is.
The voice of Darth Vader. I told you this.
But nobody knows the voice of Darth Vader, the real person.
Everybody.
Do you really think he's walking into Walmart talking like that? Like, that is specifically what his voice is for that movie.
Everybody knows who voices Darth Vader. That's
I
common
didn't.
knowledge.
I literally didn't. You're
Well,
literally, I just proved you're like
you just don't have
completely
common
wrong
knowledge
in 1 second.
It's a well-known fact. Stars, apologize for pronouncing this incorrectly. Mamadou Athie as Wade. He's been in a couple stuff. He's in Jurassic World Dominion, that new one,
Oh, yeah.
and a couple of the movies.
That's a new one?
Yeah.
That movie sucked. It's so bad.
That was a bad movie.
But I loved, what's her name in it? Laura Dern. She's always great.
She is fantastic. She's
Love
an
her.
icon. Ronnie Del Carmen as Bernie, the father of Ember. Wendy McClendon Covey as Gail. Do you know the movie Bridesmaids?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her. You remember?
But there's a lot of women in Bridesmaids. Oh my
That's her,
gosh. I
right?
love her. She is funny. She is really funny.
She's really funny. I was like, that's crazy.
I would not have recognized that. But
Neither.
she didn't have many lines, and she also had they had her do an accent.
Yeah.
So like there's no way I would have known it was her.
No way. And then Catherine O'Hara as Mrs. Ripple. You know who she is?
No.
The mom in Home Alone.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. The plot per IMDb says verbatim, I quote. I'm going to say that all the
Open
time.
quotation, end quotation.
Follows Ember and Wade in a city where fire, water, land, and air residents live together. It's a relatively short synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the budget for this was. What do you think? Place your bets.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't comprehend that you were asking a question.
I phrased it weird.
120 million.
200 million. Incorrect. Guess how much it has made so far?
200 million.
It's made 50 million so far.
Oh.
Yeah,
So it's not doing too
it's
good.
not doing too good. It kind of flopped.
Wait, did it really flop?
Well, for opening weekend, yeah, that's
Oh.
I mean, yeah, it'll make more money. It'll probably
So what is
break
considered
even?
a flop? If you break even? Like, is there a percentage of like spent to like a return on investment ratio?
I'm sure there is. I think it depends on the movie, obviously, but I'm not sure.
It's not
What
obvious.
that
That's
would
why I'm
be.
asking.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm sure there is an equation for that. I don't know. I don't have the inside information. I just know my common knowledge.
At least you didn't make something up. Jonathan has this weird thing where like if he doesn't know the answer to something, he'll literally make it up and then like just tell it to you like it's true. But then he'll put some sort of caveat at the end, like
As far as I know.
yeah, like that, as if that makes it okay that if he completely just lied to me, like it's fine. You might be a pathological liar, I'm not gonna lie. But like in a funny way, because I obviously know you're lying.
Hilarious pathological liar. That's what they designate that as. So yeah, this movie's not doing too great compared to like past Pixar movies.
Like Turning Red, that did really good, didn't it?
I I don't know if it did well. This was the first one and Lightyear that didn't go direct to
Oh,
Disney Plus.
well, Lightyear was
since
awful.
COVID. I never saw it.
It was not good.
I heard it was not great. They fired
It could
the
have been good.
director of it and the producer
After
of
it flopped, they fired him.
Well, yeah, but also Disney laid off like a ton of people.
Wow,
Like
I didn't know they
people.
were laying off like big shots. I thought they were laying off like service workers.
Yeah, me too. But apparently they did.
Wow.
Read that today.
Wow.
Wowzers. Yeah, this is the first movie that wasn't on Disney Plus since.
So it's just gonna be released later on Disney Plus.
Yeah, most likely.
That's my thing with Disney Plus. If I don't want to watch Star Wars or Marvel, is it that they own, and I don't want to watch a Disney movie, like I don't want to watch Disney Plus. And there's literally only those 3 genres. I have to be in a very specific mood to want to watch Disney movies, and I don't care about Marvel, and I don't care about, what do you call it? Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Obviously, if you couldn't tell, I didn't know the name of Darth Vader, and so apparently I'm supposed to know that.
Yeah, people know that. People know me.
People like me. Gosh darn it.
But yeah, I would give this movie a solid 4 stars.
Me too. I would give it 4 stars too. I actually thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought,
I enjoyed it. I was not like waiting for it to end or bored.
yeah, like you were definitely waiting for Transformers to end.
Oh my gosh, well I was sleeping in Transformers.
You were sleeping.
Yeah.
I thought it kind of started out kind of rough. I think it took a while to find its pacing, but once it did, it was pretty effective, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this is just like another stereotypical like Romeo and Juliet movie. Like, I mean, I think everybody is always there for a forbidden love movie, but like to a certain extent, it's just another forbidden love movie, you know?
Yeah.
So like, they just found like a new way to like show, like, what would you call it? Like, I don't know how to say it. What's the word for it? Like the different groups of people living in different areas. Like it's very common in cities to have like the Chinatown, you know what I mean? Or the
Yes, yeah.
There's like a predominantly Hispanic area, like that kind of thing. They pretty much just like found a new way to like label it as like, oh, well, these people are fire and these people are wind and these people are water, you know?
Yeah, very big metaphor for immigration and also like biracial relationships.
In racism.
Yeah,
racism. Biracial relationships, yeah. Pretty much they just found like a new way to metaphorically represent that, which is like kind of something that's been done over and over and over again. So I give them props for like the uniqueness of like coming up with the elements, but I also think that it's not at all unique. They literally just did the most basic freaking storyline.
Makes sense because the director immigrated to the US from Korea, not speaking a word of English, and settling into the Bronx. His family also opened a grocery store named Sohn's Fruits and Vegetables, similar to Ember's family in the film.
So that was kind of his inspiration, was his life.
Yep.
Yeah. I will say though, I don't really think that Pixar movies have gone downhill. Like I still enjoy them. I just think maybe the audience isn't there for it or something. I don't know. Or I guess maybe parents aren't bringing their kids to the movies as much now that they have Disney Plus.
I'm trying to think of, was Luca Pixar or was that just Disney?
Yeah, Luca's Pixar.
Luca's Pixar.
I really liked Luca. I really liked Turning Red. I really like Coco. Coco's Pixar, pretty sure.
Oh, it is Pixar. You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Just think, if you went to Disney World and you didn't see it, it's probably Pixar. Except for Toy Story. They have a big Toy Story section, which is Pixar, but they don't really put stuff in Disney World for the other ones. Like, they might sell the toys and stuff, but they don't put up, like, rides for, like, Turning Red. Do they? Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe. Those chili tots were so good.
Oh, yeah. And if
gosh.
you're going to Disney World anytime soon, you need to go to the Toy Story Land and get the, what are they called? They were, like, something tater tots.
It was like chili tot. It wasn't chili tots. It was like,
I don't remember, but it was, like, tater tot nachos or something.
Yeah. Tachos.
Tachos. You got to get the tachos. It's like, they're like tater tots with Fritos on them and then chili. It was super, super scrumdiddly.
Delicious.
It was basically like a restaurant inspired by like what a kid would want for lunch, which was like a really good idea. I thought that was a great idea. I love you, Disney World. I love you. You're wonderful. Except for when you're like laying off people and stuff like that. That's sad.
Yeah, that's sad.
So, yeah, I I do think they did a good job with the animation and like the uniqueness of the design of the city. And they had some pretty good element jokes, but I don't think they did a good job catering to the older audience as much. Like movies like Shrek, that they have those adult jokes in there that the kids won't get. They didn't really do that.
They didn't do a whole lot of that.
Yeah, and I at first thought this was like a movie for all audiences, but we were the only people who were adults that did not have children with them.
Which
I was like kind of embarrassed.
That happened to Super Mario Bros.
But no, there were a bunch of like grown-ups at Super Mario Bros.
Really?
Yeah, that was like a busy theater. Didn't that movie like make a lot of money?
It's the highest grossing video game movie of all time.
Yeah, and you think only kids went to it?
I guess that's true.
There is no way. Super Mario Bros. Is a niche that goes way beyond our generation. I mean,
yeah,
it's been loved for a very long time, so there are definitely more than children going to it. This is like a new storyline for something. It's basically just like another Soul, another Inside Out. Pretty much.
Inside Out's really, really good though, and Soul's
yeah,
really, really good.
I think the only thing they did here is they didn't develop the characters enough to where like I was like really emotionally attached.
just,
Like I had a teary moment at the end.
Me too.
But you did. That's
I
so
did.
sweet. I'm supposed to just to that man. You're just like Wade.
Just like Wade.
Wade's like crying the whole time. Okay. Those are just my initial thoughts.
Initially.
Oh, and I had one more thought I wanted to talk about. I really liked how they flipped the relationship roles in the movie. So the girl is the one who's like not good with her emotions. She bottles everything up. She's not a good communicator. She's just working hard to make a living. And the man in the relationship is very emotional. He's sensitive. He's family oriented. Like, I really like that they showed that. And there's still a balanced, like, beautiful relationship. And it doesn't have to be the man is the fire and the woman was the water, you know?
That's a good point.
I really liked how they did that. You didn't notice that?
No, I didn't even think about that.
Well, that's good. That means that you saw it as just like a normal relationship, that you don't even see it as if like, oh, they switched gender roles, because then I'm sitting
That's
here
true.
noticing it.
I'm just more woke than you, okay?
I'm waking up. Okay, so let's talk about the plot. Just want to thank Wikipedia for helping me take some of these notes, because it's really hard to remember everything that happens in a movie. So pretty much there's Bernie and Cinder Lumen. They're a couple. They immigrated from Fire City or something, to Element City, where there's like a lot of xenophobia. The other elements basically are not welcoming to fire, because the fire will either like vaporize
burn or extinguish
or like burn them, because it's earth burns and water vaporizes, so people like don't like fire being near them.
And they're also the last element to immigrate to the city.
Yeah, so there's
which
like
makes it hard for them.
All of the city was built for like air, earth, and water. So like it's very much designed that way. So if you're fire and you're walking through the city, there's like water everywhere, and like it's very dangerous. You could get like extinguished.
Yeah.
I think is what they were calling it, to like basically just die. But I feel like the one to beat is air, because you can get hit by a car.
Agreed.
You could get like anything happen to you. I mean, water can fall on you, but you'll just rain. You know what I mean?
But also, if the wind blows, then you're just kind of screwed.
Yeah. But you can just come back together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just reform.
I just don't know how the air ones would die.
Well, how do you take all the air out of a room?
I mean, how would the water ones die? The only one that made sense was fire. Like their spark would go out when they got old.
Well, yeah, the water one made sense, though, at the end with Wade, you know. It's too hot in here.
But do they live forever then if they don't die by fire?
They were evaporated.
Death by fire! Yeah.
But do they get evaporated and then...
I'm talking about like a natural death. You know,
like
not like a gory like murder.
Going into the
like,
science of this. Well, technically, between the evaporation of the sun and the earth, that's not possible.
Okay. Yeah, but the city design was super darn toot and cute. But they kind of show that the hub of the city is very much water, earth, and wind based. And if you are a fire person, you live on the outskirts, kind of in like the not so nice areas. And
Firetown.
Yeah, in Firetown. And people don't want to let fire people rent their apartments because they're worried they're going to burn them up.
Which, I mean,
Are you saying that's valid? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Okay, we're moving on. So Bernie and Cinder have a daughter. Her name is Ember.
Don't Bernie me.
They basically want to grow up and take their place, and they immigrated from whatever the heck Fireland. I don't remember what it was called. Because there was like this huge disaster in their homeland, so they moved to Element City to build a better life for themselves and for their daughter.
Yeah,
they opened up a convenience store.
It was like a storm. I kind of wish they went into that more because just storm. Like the random storm came in. I thought they could have built
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Thought of a better reason.
That's
for
what
them
I was thinking.
to move. You know, I don't know. It just felt random and thoughtless to me. I don't know.
It was easy.
Yeah.
To just say that their lives and their homeland were destroyed by a storm, and so they had to leave. Even though nobody else left. Like, everybody else in Fire City stayed. Nobody else left. So I'm like, I think you're being a little bit of a drama queen here.
Yeah, Bernie. Goodness.
When you say Bernie, I just think of Bernie Sanders.
I think of, The Incredibles. Don't Bernie me. This little rat is guilty.
Feel the burn.
We're not on the same page.
Absolutely not. So when they immigrated, they brought something with them called the blue flame, which is just a fire that burns blue, and it represents their heritage and their traditions.
Yeah, it means more than that. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
So they worked super hard to build up this business, and they basically told Ember her whole life as she's growing up that they want her to take over the store when she's old enough. So she works the shop, she helps them out all the time, and they basically show that she grows up. But when she's grown up, she's got some temper issues, and she tends to get a little angsty and angry at the customers. And she tends to blow her top, basically, and get mad at them. And so her dad's like, you are not ready to run the store. Once you can control your emotions, like, I will retire, and you can take over the store, pretty much. And she talks it all up that it's her dream to take over the store, pretty much. And I will say, working in service is not easy. As a service worker, we both have experiences with it. It can really suck. And I think every teenager, at least, as a rite of passage, or if you got to do this just to make a living, like, it teaches you a lot.
Yeah.
About people and how to treat service workers yourself. Because I have met people who I know did not work in service because of the way I watch them treat service workers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like infuriating.
Yes, it is.
So just respect our service workers out there, regardless of it. You're just trying to make money for your car, or if you're trying to sustain your family. It is not an easy living. Mm-hmm. That is for sure. Only from my little stunt that I did when I was growing up working in service. So back to the plot. So Ember takes over to run the store on a very special day. They have like some special sale.
Red dot day?
Red dot day.
Red dot sale.
Red dot sale.
Red dot site.
Where they pretty much they just put like red dot stickers on things in order to sell them at a discounted price or something. And so it's like a super busy day at the store. But her father is very sick. He's very old. So he's like, Ember, you do it today. I believe in you. You got this.
You got it.
And so she is like super stressed. She's doing it. She's doing her best. And she blows her mother trucking top.
Somebody did take all the red dots and set them in front of her. That would be so annoying.
They came up with some good ways for people to be annoyed with her. Bean's just like really hardcore sleeping right now.
She is zoinked.
So pretty much it gets very busy. She gets overwhelmed. She goes into the basement and she has a little fire explosion because that's what happens when she gets angry or upset. And when it happens, she accidentally bursts the pipe in the basement and all this water comes flooding in. And she's like, oh my gosh, I am fire. I'm going to die if I get wet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was crazy. So she basically tries to fix it as best as she can. But then she realizes that there is a water person in there because they got sucked through the pipe and they came out. Turns out it was a health inspector, water person named Wade Ripple, and he basically was accidentally swept into the pipe, but when he gets there he realizes they're breaking a lot of health violations or city code violations or whatever, so he writes him a bunch of tickets and he goes off to City Hall to file them.
Yeah.
Did you have something to say?
No, I just like the all the puns that they created with all the element terms, like
Oh my
Wade
God,
and Fern.
the
and
names were
Gale.
so good. The name Fern was really good.
Yes.
Wade was good. Brooke, his mom's
Oh,
His
Brooke.
mom's
I
name was
didn't even
Brooke.
think about that. That's
That
good.
was a good one. Bernie was a good one. Cinder. Lumen was their last name.
Lumen.
I loved all the names. It was super, super smart.
Very creative.
They put a lot of time into thinking about it. Okay, so Ember sees this guy leaving and she's like, oh, no, sir. You cannot go put in these tickets because you're going to shut down our store and it's my father's only dream and I'm supposed to take it over and I'm about to ruin it. So she chases him to City Hall. There's all this little mumbo jumbo jazzle mazzle. And he files it away and then hears Ember's sob story after and is like, oh my gosh, what have I done? So he tries to help her, but it doesn't go well. So he takes her to the big boss lady. What was her name? I wrote it down. To see Gale.
Well, it takes her to see Fern.
Well, he takes her to see Fern first, but it doesn't go well. So then he takes her to the boss of Fern, Gale Cumulus. I don't really know how the name Gale is air-related, cloud-related.
Like a gale of, like, there's a heavy gale out today. Or I don't know how to say it, but gale is wind-related.
Oh my
that
gosh.
means wind, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Gale? Such a
You're like,
random
Gale?
name. It
That's
doesn't make any
stupid.
sense. So they go to see Gale at this like stadium because she went out to see a game. And this part was cute. They came up with like a fun little game that was kind of like basketball, but it wasn't. And then there was a scene where like they do the wave in the audience because they're actually like water people, so they could really do a wave. It was
I feel
super
like
cute.
They thought of that idea
That was probably
before they created the plot for the movie.
Probably like they came up with like elements and they were like, we have to have a game just so that they can do the wave. I bet you they made up the game just so they could do it.
Yeah.
It was so darn cute, tootin', pootin'. So, I definitely really enjoyed that scene. So, they basically get Gale's approval to figure out what the leak is that caused the pipes to burst.
There's a leak in the boat.
There's not supposed to be water running to Fire City. It's very dangerous. So, there's some sort of leak. And she says, if you can find the leak and close it off, I'll take all your tickets away. I'll resolve them and your family will be good to go. So you have a week, pretty much, which I think is very much like
generous,
unethical behavior. You're telling me you're asking a random citizen, you're telling her that you have to go fix this leak that is potentially dangerous to the whole city by the end of the week, and then I'll take your tickets away. That's so lazy. Like, you're telling me that you don't care enough about the safety of the fire people that you would actually put like a professional on the job to find the leak and fix it. Instead, you're going to force a random citizen who is in a situation where they can't say no or their lives are going to be ruined. That's really messed up.
that is a little haphazard.
Yeah, I want to call it malpractice, but that's like what you call doctors. You don't say that about, I don't know, it's just unethical behavior.
Unscrupulous.
So, shame on you, Gale, for abusing citizens in, what would you call it? A situation that's not good. I don't know. I can't think of English right now. I didn't even know Gale was a word.
Yeah, gale means a very strong wind. I just looked it up. I knew it meant something to win.
Oh, at least you knew that. I didn't even know that. Okay, so they start figuring out what the leak is. They're searching the city. They find it. They kind of haphazardly fix it. And they fall in love while they do it. So that's lovely. So they start spending time together in the city. Basically, Wade and her like really connect on this deep level, but they have to keep it secret from Ember's family because Ember's father hates water people. And then
Fun fact.
ooh, really?
The composer, Thomas Newman.
Mm-hmm.
This is his fourth score for animated Pixar movie. After, can you guess any of the other ones he has done?
Coco?
No, they're well, one was a sequel, actually.
Toy Story. You really think I can name Pixar movies that good?
That's true. WALL-E was one of them.
Oh, I hate that movie. I hate WALL-E with a burning passion. I hate, one of my hardest things for me to watch is people embarrassing themselves. Like in movies, it's so hard for me to watch. I guess it's like secondhand embarrassment or something. And it makes me so uncomfortable. And like in WALL-E, he was so sad and he was so depressed. and just like upset. And I remember when I was a kid and we went to see it, the first like 10 minutes I was like crying, and I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's still a really big
1 star to Wally.
That's still just crazy to me.
Well,
I love Wally. And
I
you
hate that
it.
movie. Do you want to tell me what the other movies were?
Oh yeah, Finding Nemo and Finding Dory.
Oh, I feel bad. I didn't even like notice the score.
I didn't really either.
So I guess that means it wasn't bad, because sometimes I notice it because it's bad.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was pretty good, I guess. Okay, so basically they're keeping their relationship a secret, but they are falling in love with each other. But Ember's mom, Cinder, is like I don't know what the fuck you'd call her, like a medium.
Doctor.
She's a love doctor. And
the doctor's in the house.
She can tell that Ember is in love because she can smell it on her. Which is weird. I don't really know where they got that from, because it's not like, I don't know, like what is she smelling?
She's smelling the pheromones. I don't know.
I thought it was weird. Didn't make any sense to me. But her mom is a love doctor. And she has her suspicions. But also during this point in time, Ember goes and meets Wade's family, who's very welcoming, very loving, super cute. That was a good scene. I liked it. And then Ember kind of uses, I guess she has some special talent where like she can like make glass beautiful, like very easily. Cause like, you know how with fire you melt sand and then you make glass. So she does it a lot throughout the movie. And I'm like, that's so cool. I wish I had a special talent like that.
You don't think you have special talents?
What special talent do you think I have?
Making me laugh.
Yeah, but I can't make money on that.
I mean, we could try.
How?
I don't know. Let's do some reaction videos.
Do you want to pay me every time you laugh?
I think we'd just be switching money because we have the same bank account.
Well, when did I say that I was going to pay you anything? I don't know where you got that idea. This is a business for me. I'm making the money. The breadwinner.
You make me laugh and then I give you money.
Why do they call it the breadwinner?
Because it's bread. But get the dough.
Oh, like dough. Okay. Because I was like, you can't buy anything with bread. If I want something, I would not want bread as a, you know what, maybe I would want like really good bread.
You would want bread.
Like Great Harvest bread, like
some
good bread.
Breadsticks.
No, those are free. Why do I care about winning? I win every time I go to Olive Garden.
That should be their new slogan.
I remember we went to Olive Garden last time and they didn't give us the breadsticks, and I was like actually upset. And I literally was like, "Are you gonna give me bread? Like, do we get bread?"
Oh yeah, we had to ask.
You can't get breads. You can't go to Olive Garden without breadsticks. They should just give them to you.
Yeah, it's not cool.
It was so upsetting.
Deny us the stick of the bread.
Jonathan, that is very suggestive.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so she uses her glass making abilities to make some beautiful stuff.
And the mom's like, whoa.
And the mom is like, whoa, girl, slow down. You are an icon. You could make millions.
I don't think she says that. But you can get an internship.
That's exactly what she says.
Where that's an opportunity to make millions.
Yes, and down the line, you will make millions of dollars. Sounds like a MLM scheme to me.
Sounds like what?
Join my company and you'll make millions. All you have to do is buy $10,000 worth of merchandise.
Ponzi scheme. Yeah, that does sound like that.
Okay, so basically they're falling in love. Yada 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 yee. Bernie announces to Ember that he wants to retire and give her the company. But Ember's just now realizing through her relationship with Wade, who's really opened up her eyes to herself and the universe, that she does not want to take over the store. She has other dreams. She wants to be a glassmaker. She wants to be an intern for the rest of her life. And so she's kind of really struggling with that internally. And then Wade takes Ember on like a really fancy schmancy date where he like takes her underwater in like an air bubble. It's honestly really complicated and I don't really feel like trying to figure out how to explain it right now.
What's it called? It's like
to see a Vivisteria flower.
Yeah.
So there's like some flower that they keep talking about in the movie that's like can survive in any element. So it's like super beautiful. Because it can like live underwater, it can live in the air, it can live in fire, and it can live in
the earth.
The earth, yes, in the earth. So right now, what had happened was the station where the Vivisteria tree was with all the flowers had been flooded, so nobody could go see it. And so she wasn't able to go ever see the Vivisteria flower because her only chance was when she was a kid, but because of the persecution against the fire people, they weren't allowed. Then yada yada, the station floods. She never gets to see it, and it's very heartbreaking for her. Did that make any sense? Yahtzee. I don't know why I'm very much in a yada yee, yada you, yola hee hoo. Yeah, it's fine, it's cute, it's whatever, it is what it is. So after this very romantic date, I guess the flower is supposed to have like symbolism or something that like it can survive in any element. So why can't the elements all survive together?
Why can't their relationship survive? Why can't they be together?
They barely know each other. Like they've been on a couple of dates.
Well, yeah, that's how love happens. It happens that quick.
I don't think it happened that quick for us.
No, it didn't. But it doesn't mean it couldn't.
I mean, I don't even know if I'm there now.
Oh, boy. We better start rethinking
Everything's
our lives.
coming out, everybody. Everything's coming out. Yeah, so then their relationship kind of falls apart because Ember's super upset because her family has worked very hard to build this great life for them, being immigrants, and she doesn't want to disrespect that by dating a water person and not taking over the store. So she kind of like cuts things off with Wade because of it. And Wade
Pushes
is
him
like,
away.
no way. No Wade.
No Wade, Jose.
I work with a guy named Wade, so it's just weird.
Oh, really?
So when you say Wade, I'm like thinking about work Wade, but this is water Wade.
I don't work with anybody named Gail.
I don't work with anyone named Gail either. Did you say you don't want to work with anyone named Gail?
No, I don't.
But you would never want to, is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't make any sense. Beans, what are you doing? She's crazy. She is so exhausted.
She's lost in her tiredness.
Oh, gosh. So Wade does this whole act of, like, profession of his love, and it's in front of everybody.
Does anybody object?
I
object.
Yes, there were lots of objections to them being in love. But Ember basically shuts it down. Shut it down. There we go.
New girl reference number 1.
Initiated. So Ember rejects Wade, but her mom is like, excusez-moi, I can smell it on you, bitch. You are in love with him. But she still rejects him. She still tells him she doesn't love him. But then all the drama happens. And there's like
all the drama
whatever the heck. The leak that they sealed fails. Water is rushing into Fire City. Everybody's gonna die. Everybody's gonna die. The only people who can save them are Wade and Ember. So Wade and Ember, they go rushing there, man. They are on their way to save the day. Did you like the little rhyme?
Oh, I didn't even know. Good job.
Thanks.
I didn't really get what I guess the blue flame was like a symbol of like their family,
their heritage.
And
so I think I get what you're getting at right now. So once the pipe bursts, it's flooding their home, and it's going to put their blue flame out. And their blue flame is like their only tie to their history and their heritage. Yeah. So she and Wade are doing their best to save it, but then they get trapped. And it's very hot in the room, so Wade starts to evaporate. But the blue flame is saved. So is that what you're talking about? Like, why did they save the blue flame?
Yeah. I was just kind of like...
I see. I
guess it's important
to the family. What you were talking about. It is important. I don't know. I guess it's just like a family heirloom or something. I don't really understand the symbolism of it. Maybe there's like some culture where that's a thing that we just don't know about.
There's fire in it.
We're probably disrespecting somebody right now.
Well, that's usually a given at any moment.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So, basically, as I said, yay.
So Pixar had to upgrade and buy more computers for this movie. There was over 151,000 cores in use for this film.
What's a core?
Some kind of computer thing, I think. I wouldn't know. I'm not in IT.
So you're telling me a fun fact that I'm supposed to think is cool, but I don't know what it means, and you don't know what it means?
Core is just another computer, I think.
Okay.
In 3 large rooms on the Pixar campus. For perspective, Toy Story had 294, Monsters Inc. had 672, and Finding Nemo had 923 cores.
And how many did this one have?
151,000.
Why did they need that?
Because the animation took a lot.
What?
Yeah. Crazy.
I liked the animation, though.
Me too.
Like, the fire was kind of like a sketch almost. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like a little bit excessive, I'm not gonna lie. And that must really suck because they seem to be going out of biz, or they're not doing too well. And they spent all this money on it, and the movie is not doing well, apparently.
Well, they're thinking of making a Toy Story 5, which I don't think is a good idea.
Oh, I think they should just let it lie, man.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think they're just like this one didn't do well, so they're like all of a sudden want to do Toy Story 5. I don't think that's a good idea.
I just heard reports about that a couple days ago. I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't think that's gonna go well for them.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. Not verbatim.
Yeah, so Wade dies. And she's really upset about it, but then she finds this magical way to save him. If you want to know, watch the movie. But it was cute. They fall in love and they confess their love for each other. Amber confesses she doesn't want to take over the store.
I kind of teared up at this part. It was very sweet.
No, this is not the part that I teared up at. So they then cut to months later when Wade and Amber are now embarking on a journey to go across the Rubicon so that she could go take an internship making glass.
Making glass class.
Making glass. So now she's saying goodbye to her father, and they had gone into this whole thing previously in the movie where her father, when he left the fire people, they were not happy with him, and there's some special bow that you do to show respect. He did it, and his father did not return it. So it was like very sad for him and very heartbreaking, feeling like he didn't have his father's blessing leaving.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna lie, my dude, you were the only one leaving, so why were you leaving? Obviously everybody else was fine to stay. Thanks. She just woke up.
Oh, something gets you in your sleep? Oh my goodness.
She's got to get comfy again. There she goes. That's a good spot. So basically now Ember and Bernie are leaving her father and her mother. And so she shows this bow of respect to her father, and then her father does it back, and it was really beautiful. And I did get a little teary-eyed at this part because you kind of don't know her father, if he's gonna, love her and respect her for who she is and what she wants to do, even if it's not what his dream was for her, or if her father is gonna be just like his father was and not accept that she wants to go a different way.
Yeah.
But he did, and it was very sweet, and it made me a little teary-eyed. So I guess it's the success of the movie that it made me a little teary-eyed. I really enjoyed it, though. I would watch it again. Like, in 10, 15, whenever what years, I would, watch that with our kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Beans, do you want to watch it? She doesn't seem interested.
Well, that's okay.
It's heartbreaking.
This is really bad. I really thought the dad was going to die, honestly, at some point in the film.
Really?
But I'm glad he didn't. Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's true. I kind of thought he was going to die, too.
Yeah.
They didn't need to kill him. He just needed to retire. He was overworking himself.
Yeah, he was coughing all that smoke,
Yeah.
Making all those little coal nuts.
Little coal nuts. It was really hard to make coal nuts.
Stuff together.
Squishing the nuts. Okay. Do you have any more factoids?
No, there were not a whole lot of fun facts for this. I apologize.
Yeah, that's why the last one you told me was really bad about the cores. Whatever the heck a core is.
But come on, that's really interesting. That's a lot of computing power. Do you know how much computing power is in one core?
Do you?
It's a lot.
So next week, everybody, we are going to do Asteroid City.
Right? Yeah, I got to go see it by myself. I got to go to Sioux Falls for
I'm
this.
going home next weekend, so I'm going to go by myself.
You hoe.
With my family, and then he's going to see it by himself.
I'm going to have a great time by myself. I'm going to
take
myself out to a restaurant.
Are you really going to go out to eat? Take yourself on a date?
A steakhouse. Fine dining.
What? You're going to be so bored without me. That's all I got to say.
That's what you want.
No, that's what it will be. Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the podcast. We'll see you next week when we talk about Asteroid City. Bye.
I thought you were saying Australia for a second.